Jana hadi anatupigia hadithi. Ati ameenda kwa kitu na anapata boys. Anafika. Sasa babe, unafanya? Atunapika tu kaugali kadogo. Waje kitu itoke. Atunapika tu kaugali kadogo. Atunapika ile ni particle. Uliona ile?
Bwana.
Atunapika guzu bwana. Jote tu nipike kaugali kadogo. Kaukanga.
Ndio hivyo kushikilia ile mfunga.
Kaukanga. Episode 31, part 2 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters podcast. Today being the 2nd of July 2017, we're shooting from Kilimani, and we start by thanking our host for giving us this opportunity to shoot episode 31, which will be part 2, of course, which will be coming to you on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel within the course of the week. As always, we start by thanking the fans, the followers, the viewers, the subscribers for taking your time, 30 minutes or 35 minutes to be precise, every week to watch an episode of the 3 Quarters podcast. And on behalf of the 3 Quarters podcast, all we can say ni asanteni na shukran sana. With every passing day, the road to Japan draws closer. The Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019 is what we are talking about. We have started what's going to be a base for the qualifiers, the Rugby African Gold Cup, where Kenya is participating. And Kenya is actually trying to get to the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. So how do we support these boys? Road to Japan hashtag. Join the Road to Japan hashtag. Let's garner support for these boys, because the truth and the fact of the matter is that the Kenya SIMBAs are the superstars of rugby in Kenya. When they do right, rugby stature and rankings grow. If they do wrong, we falter. So let's get behind the Kenya SIMBAs and let's see if they can get to the Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019, where they'll be ambassadors of this great country of ours. This is Ngash, the official noisemaker.
Jeringus Kenyana.
We get into part 2, where we start with our segment where we try to educate you guys about the game of rugby, be it lingo, be it the rules, anything to do with rugby. So that when you come watch the game with us on 8th of July, right?
Yep.
Against Tunisia, you don't float. So we're still on
any handball.
So we start with or rather today we are going to do on line out infringements.
Yep.
We're continuing with our section on line out infringements. And what's a line out? A line out is a way to restart play when the ball has gone into touch or out of play.
Yeah.
It's normally where you see there's a tunnel and the 2 sets of forwards form lines, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And the person who's bearing jersey number 2 or jersey number 16 will throw in the ball, will feed in the ball to the tunnel, that gap, and you contest for it by, of course, jumping. So today's line out infringement is lifting before the ball is thrown. The ball has to be thrown. The ball has to leave the hand of the hooker before you can actually contest the ball, and that's jumping. You'll be hoisted. Most of the times you're normally hoisted by the props or the back rows. Most of the guys who normally contest the lineouts are the second rows, the taller guys on the pitch.
The
locks, exactly. Second rows, the locks. So if you lift or if you jump before the ball is fed into the tunnel, it results in a half penalty.
Yes. And
so the referee, half penalty, remember, that's what you normally call for. That's the sanction. That's what comes if you commit that infringement. That's what comes out. SIMBA focus. This is our segment where we try to, or where we talk about the Kenya SIMBAs.
Yep.
Because this is the international rugby season. Tight fives. That's the boiler room goose. You know that? That's the engine room.
Kabisa.
Who would you want to see in the tight five against Tunisia? Taking into account the Tunisians are very heavy.
These big guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think it won't change as much with me. I'd have number 1, Moses Amsala.
Yeah.
2, I think I'll stick with Peter Carrier.
Yeah.
He's been having a good outing.
Yeah.
This is so far. But number 3, I'd bring in Curtis Lelako.
Yes.
I think mostly because of the experience.
Yes.
As well. Then with the locks, number 4, I'm really hoping that Wilson Kopondo is back.
Yes.
We're going to wish him a quick recovery.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a pairing of him and Oliver Mangeni.
Yes.
As the locks.
As the locks.
However,
yes.
if Wilson Kopondo will not be available,
Yeah.
I think you can stick with Miniafu.
Simon Mniafu. That's true. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring Curtis back in is two things. Number one, he's scrummaging.
Yep.
Actually, three things. Number one, he's scrummaging. He's very good at scrummaging. Number two, Curtis has a leadership.
The leadership aspect.
The leadership aspect. I mean, he's a KCB captain.
So winning captain.
Winning, yeah, he can be able to bring that. Number three, I like the fact that Curtis only hits when it's necessary.
Yeah.
He always plays the gap.
True.
And that's what you need. I think, as we are saying, our kind of plays quick ball.
Yeah.
You don't need someone who's going to be going into contact.
Route one rugby.
So step the gap and hit the man. We don't need that.
Let me just go through.
Exactly. We need guys who are going to be hitting the gap. So I think that's what Curtis brings in. If Wilson Kopondo is not going to be available, I think Simon Mniafu has done a good job. And he can always come in and partner up Oliver Mongeni, who of course is our lineup guy. And I think if we're able to have that tight five, the boiler room, the engine room, that's where the work happens. I think we can be able to beat Tunisia.
It'll be a good day.
It'll be a good day. We do hope it's going to be a good day.
It will be a good day.
It will be a good day. As a result of the results that have happened, Germany, Uganda away and Uganda home, we've moved down in rankings. We are now 26th. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, we're just donating points, right? These guys. Because Uganda, they've taken 2 points off us.
That's true.
Yeah. And it's a sad situation. However, I think you can only rectify that by winning the remaining games.
Yes.
Once we beat Tunisia and Senegal, then travel and finish off the South Africans. Then I think you can improve on that.
Then we can improve on that. It's sad. I mean, by the time at the close of last season, we were 22nd in the world.
Almost 20th.
We were almost 20th. We were almost breaking into the top 20. And I'm thinking about the things that come with it. You know, in terms of money, in terms of everything. So now we're out of the top 25. If you're top 25, you're entitled to 200,000 euros a year from the World Rugby. If you're top 20, you're entitled to €1 million a year. Can you imagine what that happens in terms of development? So unfortunately, we have to deal with the fact that we're 26th. But I hope that we can be able to put in some good games and therefore return to where I think we should be.
Our place.
Our place. Embu Sevens, Samurai Select have beaten Northern Suburbs in the finals and they've won the Embu Sevens. I want you to tell me what you think about the fact that there's an Embu Sevens and we actually have guys going for that.
Yeah, man, it is actually big.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very new tournament, bro.
Yeah.
But you can see that how rugby is transcending, it's leaving Nairobi.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Suko Mashinani now.
Yeah.
And that's fantastic for the game. Because you can see now guys are traveling even from Nairobi. And Embu is not so far. We've read about how the crowds were there, numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it's a fantastic thing for the game.
Yeah.
And that you can, and now look at the guys who are in the finals, the Northern Suburbs.
Yes.
Because those are young guys.
Yeah, young guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
very young guys.
Nduma.
And kudos to them for actually making the finals.
Yes.
And losing narrowly
to
Samurai Select, which is a team of superstars.
Yes, that's true. It's a team of superstars.
Coached by
Africa Yangi. Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's good, as you're saying, the fact that you can have sevens in Embu and you can actually have the numbers that I hear were there. It's a good thing for the game. We can never go wrong with the numbers in the game. When the game opened up to Western Kenya, you see the kind of guys we were able to bring into the game. Some in terms of physique, these are the guys who are able to, munch it out with some other guys.
Shortage ya maize.
Shortage ya unga. So it's only good for us. Like if you push the games to the periphery, for lack of a better word. I'm afraid of this next topic. British and Irish Lions to Aotearoa. They played yesterday, 1st of July 2017, at the Westpac Stadium in Wellington. The British and Irish Lions edging out the New Zealand All Blacks, 24-21. Thoughts on that game?
SIMBA alikula kiwi. The Lions actually finally they've snuck in a win.
Yes.
And I'd say sneak in only because they were 14 men from the 25th minute.
From the 25th minute, yes.
Sorry, Bill Williams having been sent off for a dangerous
shoulder charge.
Yeah. And it's surprising that it takes 4 nations and 14 playing against 14 men to win against the All Blacks.
The All Blacks, 24-21. But what's shocking for me, Ngusale, is that the All Blacks didn't score any try.
0 tries. And they were leading most of the game.
Yes.
Throughout the period of the game, the Lions took the lead late in the second.
In the 76th minute.
That's when they came up.
Yeah.
But the Donald also scored 2 tries. Yeah?
Yes, they scored 2 tries. And Owen Farrell, of course, dealing with the boot.
But Barrett had a very bad day.
Yes.
On the tee.
On the tee, yes.
Because he lost. He missed like about 4 penalties.
Yes.
That would have given them win, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep on saying, like, and we've had this argument before. Yes, Buden Barrett is a very good player in terms of he'll break the line. He's entertaining to watch. Yeah. But when crunch time comes, because that game for yesterday is crunch time, and as you're saying, his kicking is very poor. Now you see what happened. But then
they do regret it. They really do regret it. But I'm wondering, after missing a couple of penalties, don't they have a second kicker, perhaps within the team, that could have taken over the kicking duties? Because you could see these guys not having a good day in the office.
You either bring in Aaron Cruden.
Cruden came in.
Yes, you bring in Aaron Cruden. But to be honest, they don't have actually a second kicker off the tee. Israel Dag used to kick in the beginning of his career. He doesn't kick anymore. But Barrett just needs to work on his effectiveness in terms of from the tee. Because remember what you were saying, when Dan Carter perfected all aspects of his kicking, that's when New Zealand became untouchable. So I think Barrett needs to work on that. But anyway, the next test is back at Eden Park on the 8th of July 2017. British and Irish Lions versus the New Zealand All Blacks at the Eden Park next week. Quick read of the Super Rugby results for the games that are happening.
Super Rugby results. We have the Sharks playing the Bulls. Sharks lost 17-30. The Jaguares versus the Kings. They won 30-30. Okay, the Kings won 30-31.
Yeah.
Then you had the Cheetahs hosting the Stormers. Stormers coming out on top 40-34. Then the Lions going through the Sunwolves 94-7.
What? That's a basketball game. Cricket score. 94-7.
Almost a century.
Almost a century. We always ask you guys, we have our Super Rugby Fantasy League running. Super Rugby is back. Therefore, make a point of joining the 3 Quarters podcast at Super Rugby Fantasy League. Na tuone kama watu ni machesko ama tu ni mdomo wanaongeanga.
Mchezo wa mdomo.
Mchezo wa mdomo. Episode 31 part 2. That has been it. We always ask you guys to follow us on Instagram, to like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jerry Goose Kenyana.
Stay tuned for episode 31 part 3.